Today we continue looking through some of the songs of Christmas and the stories behind the authors and what were the events that happened to help them write these songs that we still sing. Today's we're going to look at is maybe my favorite. It's a song that I'd heard many times, but until I knew the story behind the song, didn't really mean that much. The author of the song is a man that most of us would recognize his name, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Do you remember that name? Maybe from elementary school, that's how I remember that name. I remember memorizing some poems that he had written. Some of the ones that I remember are Paul Revere's Ride, Hiawatha Song, or the Song of Hiawatha. In fact, though, if you were to ask me, what do those say at all? I don't know. But I remember the names and having to memorize those poems. And he was a great poet. He was also a scholar and would teach in some of the universities. He taught at Bowdoin College and Harvard College. But the events of his life helped him to write a song. His first wife dies during childbirth in 1835. Then he remarries to a lady by the name of Frances Appleton. And within just a little bit of time, 6 children are born to the family. Can you imagine 6 children running around the house? Longfellow continues his work, but one day on July 9th, 1861, as Mr. Longfellow is taking a nap, he is abruptly wakened when his wife rushes in and he sees his wife's dress and flames all over her. He quickly wakes up and rushes over and takes a rug and tries to get the flames out, and eventually just uses his own body trying to get the flames out. And he does get the flames out, but by that time, his wife has suffered some horrific injuries. And in fact, in a matter of hours, she would pass into eternity. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, because of the injuries he suffered, was not able to attend his own wife's funeral, which happened on July 13th, which was their 18th wedding anniversary. He was heartbroken, had stopped much of his writing, and just was trying his best to help his family to get through a very difficult time that he himself was struggling to get through. 2 years later, his oldest son, Charles, he walked out of their house and boarded a train which was bound for Washington, D.C. The reason he was heading to D.C. was to join Abraham Lincoln's army. As the Civil War was raging in this country, he wanted to fight for the Union. He was the oldest of the 6 children, and in December of that year, Henry learns that he's been injured. His son Charles had been shot through the left shoulder with a bullet exiting under the right shoulder blade, and the doctor said he was inches away from being paralyzed. He quickly rushed to where he could see his child in Washington, D.C., and just a few days later, his son was there. The doctors, when they first talked to him, warned that this was a very, very serious injury. He may be paralyzed. And they tried to tell Henry that things could go wrong here. This is in December. So on Christmas Day, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, a man that is now a widower, a father that is very concerned about his son and his health, he wrote a poem. The words to this poem you'll recognize. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the songs repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep, not God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Those are the most famous stanzas of this poem that he wrote. There were others. But my favorite line from this song is that last one. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. Listen, God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. We ourselves have gone through a crazy year, but what a great comfort to know this Christmas. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. He is in control. And the wrong shall fail, the right will prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men.